There is definitely something magical in this saturated green color. All these green leaves, these earthy tones of stems, roots, and mud. It reminds me of a mysterious, dense, and magical place. My body is here in the city, but my mind is somewhere else. So, yes, that majestic landscape is the Dangs region. Dangs lies within the South Gujarat part. It comprises of major villages such as Ahwa, Waghai, Saputara, and Purna Wildlife Sanctuary. Since my childhood, I've always had a passion for traveling to the unexplored regions, to the wilderness, to the national parks and the reserve forest, where government is taking initiative to conserve the wildlife as well as the forest reserves. This becomes a crucial part in my journey. Dangs, just being 120 kilometers from the main city of Surat, you can reach here either by car or by bus. I would prefer you take your personal vehicle and keep the tank fully filled because there is very scarcity of petrol in that region. Right from Vyara or Songarh till Ahwa, you will not find any petrol pumps. Every year, I try to visit Dangs in the monsoon season, either with friends or with family, and keep a target to explore at least 3 to 4 destinations within a span of 2 to 3 days. But this time it was completely different. So it was planned. We packed our bags, filled up the tank, and straight away to the forest. Our first stop was Girmal Waterfalls. This majestic falls comprises of two major destinations within itself. The first is the waterfall, which is about 100 meters in height, and that's why it is the highest waterfall in the Gujarat region. After admiring the beauty and being awed by the majestic nature and the grandness of that waterfall, we moved to Koshmal Valley. Koshmal Valley in itself is a very beautiful place filled with lush green trees, but our target was to see the Koshmal waterfalls, and we were prepared for one hell of a slippery trek. It was completely washed off. The stones were everywhere and it was filled with green algae. It was very difficult to climb down as well as to climb up on those slippery stones. However, we managed that. Tiredly and tipsy-topsy, we reached the bottom of the waterfall and the view were completely out of this world. After completing the major destinations which we planned for that day, well, theoretically, two places sound like we have explored very little in a single day. However, in real life, the trekking does take a toll of time because in this dense forest regions, you do not want to wander around among the lush green trees. So we decided to head to our stay. Now, this One Vihar homestay was a completely different type of stay. This is a type of agro-tourism stay services which is managed and owned by the local people of Dang, and this provides them a source of income and economic stability. The main characteristic of this homestay was the location. It was straight beside a check dam, not a normal check dam, a check dam with a height of 30 meters. Now you can imagine the sound of water falling through that check dam. And this was the prime reason I chose this stay. However, when we reached this stay, it was already 8 pm, and by 8 pm in the forest, it turns to night. We reached, got fresh, had our dinner, which was the beautiful Dangi Thali. If you would like to know about Dangi Thali, you can explore it further on food channels also. After having dinner, we wanted to see the check dam. Luckily, with us was Keyur Bhai, the son of the owner of this property. When we asked him, let us take to a tour to the check dam, he said, don't go alone. I will come with you. And boy, this man had the knowledge of the region. Well, it is expected because he was a local. But we were not expecting that we would get to know so much that day. He had been wandering around this forest since long ago, and he knew all the species of snakes and tiny fireflies. He gave us so much knowledge on fireflies, you can't even imagine.
Firefly. लाइट बंद करे तो दिखाए. Firefly.
We were having no knowledge that we were such occupied by wilderness all around. There was something about his flashlight too. It was pretty damn powerful.
આઈ ક્લીન કરે છે ઇન ટંકી.
શું કરે છે?
ક્લીન કરે છે આ.
એ ફૈરો 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 આ બાજુ આપણી બાજુ છે અહીંયા જોવે.
So he gave us the whole tour of check dam. We were not able to capture much on the camera because the camera has its limitations. It cannot capture during night time. Moreover, we don't have any professional rigs. We just simply have our smartphones. That's why we could not capture much. However, the knowledge he gave us was impeccable. After returning from our small expedition during the night time, we settled around a campfire at our campsite, and the conversations we had at that time, we talked about global warming, deforestation, the harsh truths about the forest regions, and how strictly the government is taking actions. The major information which I would like to share from that discussion was, even I didn't know that before the conversation. He said that the forests which are present in the wilderness, they are just contributing to a very little oxygen output. He explained another aspect, that is the coral reefs. As we know, 70% of earth is water and 30% is land. He explained that the corals which are present in ocean, they too produce oxygen, and this oxygen comprises to a larger aspect of total oxygen output, or I must say net O2 emissions, which counterbalances the carbon footprint. And that's how the discussion went deeply and deeply after time to time. At the end, we sat around the campsite, heard songs of Kishore Kumar and Rafida, and called it a night.